Madness is not in being able to make the incomprehensible unite in catharsis. It's genius that transforms the incomprehensible. It is genius that transforms the irreconcilable differences of America and the auto-stupefaction factors of autodidact category professional hypocrisy. As a modern dualist of the Horatio dualismus, by Napoleon warfare at dualismus causes fascismus, local causality fascismus, and quarrelero acta in hypocrisy, Hippocratic oath, the contradictum in adjectio, and the history of modern hypocrisy as a nomenclatura, Greek history, Ottoman Empire and Abraham's tree, manifestation in a Suleiman, magnificent transformation of Salim, and Mamet in Venice history, in bombing and shelling the cannon of Parthenon, is that it perpetuated like Turkish terrorists who are Israeli, Turkish, fought Israel and Turkey between Israeli terrorists and Israeli fascists. At the same time, the contradiction in different countries of nationalities, as socialist Israel and the history of communism and cooperative Zionismus, semantismus and modern definition is that of all the stars in the world, Marilyn Monroe doesn't end up being the adoration of the Magi as a pantheon of all social matrix history. This lewd narcissistic privatization and extortion of collateral coercion and perversion of modern ethical harmony, of modern behavioral science and sociology, neurology, operativeness, and transformation in the macropolis and metropolitan universal atlas in the Hydron of modern Triturbinu Mazda, history of modern physics. Not a lesson of history of modern contemporary and Cold War genocides, Katyina and Holocaust post dramas of modern Srebrenica, Kosovo, Belgrade, Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, Kazakhstan, Kurdistan, the new Vladivostok and privatization of NASA. Grunewald and NASA still exists. Man's hubris and transformation to New Yorker as the intellectual sentient man, Columbia professor in classical general studies of the Western canon, transforms the ethical questions of modern, the revolt of the future and presence of modern metamorphosis at Saosis and neutral calibration of secular fractals at cooperativeness, not coercion, not collateral cooperative coercion, but cooperative essential dynamismus of honing the pantheon of modern world of metropolis. The ethical correspondence of these starved world people to transform world as not blinded by abstraction duality, and world not blinded by micro problems to seeing the large problems and seeing the essential, and not dismarking people who are ethically pure to collaborate and dissension against them. Man's transformation and history to the West and American immigration is based on the fact that it honors these characters who have gone this long journey, like I have myself from Stalinist world, and prodigy at 6 years old winning Czechoslovakian painting of communist revolution with Alexander Vigan executing the government buildings, as not destroying them but transforming their governments, as social Otto Brandt's ideologues to ideology of modern life is worth living. Man living in the West and East transforms now the quadratis in jurisprudence, justice palace, modern Supreme Court, and that when I exercise my right to speak to judges and to court jurisprudence. They ask that they be not lectured to. But the theory of American Supreme Court is fascist and collaborates coercion and extension to advocacy of autodidact reading and maintaining status quo in modern world. The world needs to be more fair and address the real collaborative coercion, and that it's in nature very corrupted and collaterally fascist in its intent, execution, and transformation and maintenance. That at the root of our society are these so-called fascists that transform a new brand of Marxo-fascismus. Man's reaction to this authoritarian principle is that Napoleon freed these men. We need to address the world not to scorn them, but to educate them and to yearn them to what they do not know, for they do not know everything. Their madness holds in the precept of knowing everything, anything and nothing, in the I Ching of the dualismus of modern cosmos as being appropriated by the honing of its prepositional dioptria category and intellectual category of rationalization. Rationalization creates monsters. That goes to my final point at Columbia, where Goya said the birth of monsters are created where there's no reason. But with reasons, monsters are created by their knowing and blocking the optological category of rational concilium, ophthalmological concilium. Modern words and ophthalmology is neurologically connected to the perspectival of modern world systems and governments in the transformation of the third eye, not as being assassinated by these terror squads of Stalinist regimes, Katyana or Hitler's or modern CIA, NKVD, bloodlands, no man lands. We're refugee camps and transformation of our exodus from our homelands and birthlands and our mothers and fathers and the children of the gyre of the swamplands are the real thing. We need to be nurtured and transformed in modern world social history and be welcomed, not by just the racial categories of pre-selectivity, but by true harmony of its logical, anatomical, birthright transformation of its prima natura quality, not being distorted to intellectual category, but having objective, encyclopedic dimension of transforming quadrilateral fractals into purity of modern optological. We shall see you, and we shall see you, and see you by being adaptive in its Ka transformation, Triburium Mazda transformation of the differential categories of collateral, cooperative, quadrilaterality in the modern black ops, white ops, gray grounds for optological 18-15% gray into a non-abstraction but mercurial Apollonian reflection of modern Prometheus. From Prometheus and the exegesis of Apollonians whose Weizenbands transform the A through Z nomenclature to objective classical new world, the transformation of the mandala of anatomy as the rise of the Polyphemus magnus opus, the Helios of modern world. In the metropolis of the modern world arise the socialist history of the sentience myths, catharsis, synthesis, hubris, cursus, honorus, eco homo faber.